What up, guys? How's it going? This is Bharat, and welcome back to yet another video. The high chances are that if you guys check this video or clicked on this video, you are suffering from the endless rabbit hole of watching tutorials. Well, I know that a lot of you guys are suffering from that, and you guys have been asking me if there are any tips for that. And I'm going to be giving you guys my 5 top tips on how to get out of just watching tutorials only. I make a lot of tutorial content on this video channel, but at the same time I also talk about building a product. So how do you go from just watching tutorials to building a product? And that's what I'm going to be helping you guys with this video. Definitely check it out to the end, and definitely like and subscribe to the channel as well. Now it's time to look at all the 5 tips. Let's get this video started straight away. All right, my tip number 1 is very important. Always time bound what you're trying to do. If you have, say, 6 months of your time to learn a programming language, you should be practicing yourself or making yourself understand that you have only 6 months to complete. One of the major mistakes that I made when I started out was I told myself I have 1.5 years to complete learning a programming language. It happened that I just took more than 1 year to just understand the basics of programming language. I took another 1 year to even complete that understanding of the programming language. Make sure that you time bound yourself. Time bounding gives a sense of urgency and also motivating factor for a lot of people to complete anything that they start. You should also have short-term goals during this time. Let's say you have 6 months of your time in your hand. You should have short-term goals of every 15 days to review what you studied. You should be having and also have a mechanism to understand your progress and track your progress over this 6 months of time. A lot of courses nowadays are doing that. They are giving you guys a sense of tracking. They're also giving you guys a sense of urgency to complete it, and it's very important. It's a time tested method. Do not think that you will not be able to complete it. If you just follow these courses, you will be able to complete the entire course in the given amount of time that they are also doing it for. So that's my first tip. Just make sure you're time bounding it. You will obviously be getting out of that hellhole of tutorials much more faster. Thanks to Coach along with Unacademy for sponsoring us with this video. Spare me 30 seconds of your time, guys. I'll explain what exactly these guys are doing. Now, as soon as you go into unacademy.com and find out the competitive section of programming has come up with a partnership where they are teaching you all a comprehensive course. Now, these classes are not all paid. There are a lot of free classes inside these sections to take as well. Check out any of the free classes. You have free practice tests as well as free live videos for you to take. Now, if you are interested and you also are excited to continue with the classes, all you have to do is come down from the section and you find that all these classes are taught by experts only. Now, if you are going to go forward with this, check out the pricing subscription model where they start from 6,000 rupees per month, taking you up to 33,000 per year. Do not worry about the money, because once you use the referral code CoachF or the referral code that I've given in my description below, you will get 10% off on the purchase. So I would highly recommend you guys to go for the 6-month or the 12-month subscription model, because once you do that, you get EMI starting from 2,750 per month. Check them out and let me know what you guys think in the description below. All right, time for second tip, which is to always make sure that you have a product goal. Well, if you are somebody who is actually going to be learning something in, say, a period of 3 months, you should also have a time goal as well as a product goal. A product goal is something that you should be able to build by the end of this course time. Now, if you are somebody who is going to be learning JavaScript, for example, you should have an end goal where you are going to be building a JavaScript application, which should be in terms be a little bit complex than your usual stuff. You cannot tell yourself that I'm going to be building a calculator application by the end of the course, and that's not going to work, right? You should be in a position to always have something that you have by the end of the time that you've fixed for yourself. Now, this product is not something that you sit in a day and do it. This should be something that you do as you understand and as you go through the course. This is something also that I've been talking for a long time. You should put whatever you're learning into practice even from the first day itself. If you're learning something about, say, declaring a variable, that's the most basic thing that you can learn in a course. You should start out by declaring a variable. You should do shadow practice. Just do whatever the course instructor is doing. Put it into practice from the day one. And that's going to be very useful by the end of your time period, say 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, you will be having a product by the end of that. And that's a one hell of a motivating factor when you complete your course with a product in hand. This also helps you to get out of the tutorial much faster, because let's say that you are trying to build a complex web application. You want to build some animated web application using JavaScript. You started with the simple variables. As you progressed along, you are in a position where you're hitting some error. You will be forced to Google your way out of it. You will be putting your queries into Google. You will be reading things in Stack Overflow. You will not understand anything in Stack Overflow, but still you should be able to pick out one or two words from the what the answer is there, put it again into Google, just read through it. And that's a one amazing way to learn any kind of a programming language slash framework. So definitely do that. Have a time goal as well as a product goal. And that's my tip number 2. All right, third tip is very important. One of the most major mistakes that a lot of people do. You should always choose your programming language better. Let's say that you are very new to programming language. You just out of your just understanding the basics of computer science or computer programming. You're understanding what are classes, you're understanding what is a data structure, you're understanding what are algorithms. Let's say you've got a theoretical portion completed. Well, like I told you in my second point, you should be able to practice your theory. If not, it's of no use. So what you have to do is to make sure you're picking the right programming language. I've seen a lot of people just jumping into the programming languages like they know everything already. For example, if you want to choose Ruby on Rails, you should first know what a Ruby is and how Ruby works. And similarly, even for Django or even for all these complex frameworks that are actually based out of a programming language, you should understand the basics of what you have to do. You should be having that muscle memory to type something in your computer first. So one important thing that I would actually give you guys is to make sure you're choosing your programming languages much you have to choose your programming correctly. So one another important tip is, if you're a beginner, you can start with Python, you can start with Java, you can start with C++ or JavaScript. But if you're somebody who's just a little bit intermediate, you can just choose your programming languages in that space. So do not jump here and there, do not jump between programming languages. Programming languages are just a tool to finish a product. They are not just about, the programming languages are not knowledge. They're just a tool to complete your product. So if you know Python, if you know Java, you choose what is better for your product and you're going to go forward with it. But at the same time, if you're a beginner, if you're stuck in a hellhole of tutorials, you should choose your programming language properly. If not, you will just not be able to understand what is happening, and you'll be jumping between languages slash frameworks and not be able to come out of it. So that's my third point. Make sure you're choosing your programming language much more in our early career stage itself, rather than just jumping and choosing whatever is applicable, whatever people are hyping around. Do not do that mistake. All right, if you come here so far and if you still not been able to get out of the rat hole, you are probably in need of a mentor. So that's my fourth point. Mentorship is a very important thing, and a lot of people have been mentored by me, and these are people who are older than me by lot many years. The importance here is that mentors are people who have a little bit of a specialization in a programming language slash framework slash technology. These are not people just because they are older doesn't mean that they're going to be mentor. There can be people who are very good what they are doing, and they can be a mentor to you as well. The best way to find a mentor is to obviously reach out to people you know around. There could be somebody in your family who's done programming, also into computer science. There could be somebody in your friend circle who's into computer science. Just reach out to them, and you can definitely ask them that this is the problems that I'm stuck at, and can you please help me out. Now, this is the problem that I'm facing with tutorials after tutorials. I do not know what path to take. And I do get a lot of questions. I do get a lot of Instagram pings, even LinkedIn pings, and asking me to just mentor them. And I definitely try to help as much as I can in the short amount of time that I have. So that's how you should be doing. You should be motivated enough to get and ask for help, and that help should be in the form of a mentorship, and it's going to be incredibly helpful for you to get out of your problems. I've been mentored. I have also taken mentorship, and also it's been like an incredible journey for me, because I've had a lot of people who I can relate to on an everyday basis. They're just people like me. They could have started somewhere else, but they're just going through the same path and same struggles that I'm going through. And when you have or ask for the help, Nothing's more important than that. All right, guys, my final point is to obviously not take yourselves too seriously. Yes, that you heard it right. Do not take yourself too seriously. Just because you are maybe learning to code, maybe learning to understand programming languages, doesn't mean that you should understand everything. I'll give you a very simple example. I was learning JavaScript and I was stuck at something called as the idea of the programming concept of asynchronous programming, or maybe even the await concepts that were very new to JavaScript when I was learning it. I couldn't understand what that was trying to say. I was just stuck with it for very long. I was watching tutorial after tutorial, but could not get past that. Well, at one fine day, I told myself, "Oh, check it. I'm not going to worry much about it. It's just because I don't understand it doesn't mean that I cannot understand anything more." So I just left that concept out. I went on and I started doing a little bit of jQuery. Just use jQuery as a framework, and that was what I took. And as the time went by, maybe 3 months later, 4 months later, I started understanding what this asynchronous meant, because I was understanding something else. And it, as I matured enough, as I experienced myself enough, I could understand what role this asynchronous programming played in terms of the writing JavaScript code. And that's how I learned the concept of asynchronous programming. Since then, I've employed it in a lot of different places. If I don't understand something, I just don't get too serious about myself and tell that I do not understand this, so I'm not going to understand anything more. And don't stop there. I just leave it at that point, for just for that point. Go forward with some things that are already there as part of the course. I complete everything out, and as I just go around, as I just play around with that framework slash technology, it just comes to me, just you just understand out of the experience. So that's a very important point, I feel is important. You should know when to let go, and at the same time you should not take yourself too seriously, because chances are that you, anywhere you start from the stack, there could be a security professional out there could be a full stack developer. Somebody starts some point of the programming stack, but all of them travel the same path. They travel the same path of perseverance. They travel the same path of sadness, probably endless hours of not getting an output. And at the same time, they also find happiness at the end when they are successful in building a product. So that's how I think is a programmer journey. It's also a very good thing about programming community, because all of them go through the path of perseverance, and it's important that you keep it in yourself. And pretty much that's what I wanted to share with you guys in this video. It's something that I made on the spot, just out of the bound. I just took the camera out and started recording. So hopefully you guys found it helpful, and I want to make more such videos on programming content. If you like this video, definitely let me know about that in the comment section below. If you let me know about it, I can make a lot more such videos. And also keep subscribed to the channel, because I've got a lot of new cool stuff coming out in this video channel, and I want to be helping all of you guys out in some way or the other. So that's it for this video. Let me meet you in the next one. Until then, Bharat, peace out. Have a super awesome day.